Hi, AJ Hartley here, novelist, Shakespeare professor, baby metal fan, and we have a new collaboration, this one with Bloodywood, and it's called Bake Off. Okay, so let's start by acknowledging the obvious. At the very beginning of the video, we get that slightly swirly image that's reminiscent of Shanti Shanti, which I think I'm going to refer to a number of times. It has that very slightly sort of psychedelic Indian 20th century kind of feel to it. But then we quickly move out of that into something which is clearly more anime in terms of overall look, and also more Indian, actual Indian, present day Indian in terms of sound, through the Bloodywood instrumentation. You get that sort of the high register electronic sort of twinkly sound that we get, and I think this is a conscious balance that we're going to hear all the way through the song, that a lot of the instrumental work and the male vocal tends to be in that lower register, but we always have something a little higher up which sets up the baby metal vocal when it comes in, which I think is really cool. And we're seeing this. And also I'd say the image of the three Bloodywood guys coming in as sort of comets almost is reminiscent of things that baby metal have done in the past as well. This idea of these sort of extraterrestrial spirits coming into this universe to right wrongs and battle evil. Okay, can we take a moment to acknowledge what a great line that is? Fear is a choice, but the choice is mine. That is badass. I love it. And I love the transition from the Hindi into the English, and now we move into the Japanese. This is a real sort of, again, a genuine collaboration. Again, I think I'm going to say this a lot in this. The last time baby metal did anything with an Indian feel was in Shanti Shanti, which was on Metal Galaxy, which is actually 5 years old now. And I think the cultural landscape has changed quite a bit in 5 years. And, I really liked Shanti Shanti, but there was a sense that it was a sort of Indian techie, a kind of quasi-Indian feel from the outside. Now, a lot of the stuff in that song, as I said at the time when I talked about it with my Indian colleagues, that they were tapping into a shared cultural registry, right? That because Japan comes by its Buddhism from India, so there's a lot of shared language and concepts that were being used in that song. But there was still a sense that it was a sort of a pastiche, a sort of generalized impression of an Indian mood as seen from the outside. This is very different. This is kind of as they did with Papaya and then moved to Leave It All Behind this year. This is a more genuine collaboration with another artist from that culture. So that rather than doing a representation of India as perceived from outside India, what we're getting now is something that grows out of India in contemporary culture. So we're not simply seeing a lot of sort of traditional images or ideas, or the processing of those traditional images or ideas through 20th century psychedelia and so on. We're getting something which is more organically original, which I think is really cool. And as I say, I love this sort of combination of languages in the making of something that has a real global appeal, and it's cool. And, as I said, those higher registers that we're hearing on the sort of synthesizer and the keyboard sounds, which then transition into Sue's vocal. And I think that it sets it up that there's that sort of twinkly quality to it. But when the voice actually comes in, it's so much richer and more powerful that it doesn't sound twittery. you know. I think sometimes early in Baby Metal's career, there were criticisms from metal fans that the vocals were too little girly, you know, for them. We're not getting that now. This is a much more mature sound, and I think it fits really well with that kind of balance with the darker stuff. And if you're not familiar with it, check out also the recent collaboration between Atarashi Gakko and Maximum the Hormone, who did Shimmy. And, you know, you hear a similar kind of balance between those sort of clean female vocals along with the sort of darker, grungier, heavier sound. I think this works really well. Though I will say this. I kind of wish the word wasn't Bake Off, because as a Brit, it sounds as in the Great British Bake Off, which is totally not this. Though I will say that, you know, baking requires fearlessness. So, but yes, the Indian-Japanese Bake Off. Here we go. Nice. Again, I love that sort of slightly more digitized kind of sound. It's a little reminiscent of Bring Me the Horizon, the Kingslayer song, though I don't think the voice here is as processed, but it's that sort of clipped treble-y quality that gives it that register, which I think counterpoints really well with the heavier stuff of the surrounding sound. And we're getting into these sort of classic anime battles, which is really cool. And we're already seeing a theme throughout the video, which is that they're not individual fighters, but it's about unity. It's about connection between them. We see those points of contact between the different characters as we come together, which of course is what the song itself is doing. We're crossing countries to bring something that emerges out of that collaboration. Yeah, I love the visuals of this. You know, it has, it's somewhere between Inuyasha and Blue Eye Samurai or something, a very sort of contemporary take on classic anime combat. And again, we're invoking elements of a sort of a demonic or evil entity, which has clearly sort of Indian flavors to it. I love the sort of temple structure around it as well, you know, which is sort of vaguely reminiscent of of India and of Japan and of neither, because it's kind of another world place. It's great. Good colors, man. Look at that. I love the way that they each bring elements of their folk culture, mythological power with them. We see the Indian guys opening the crevice as the fire sort of shoots through, and we see the Japanese women bringing the spirit of the kitsune, the fox, which goes after the enemy. It's also reminiscent of the video for karate, right, where we have a series of different bosses escalating as we go through. So it's got all this sort of classic video game and anime kind of feel to it as well. And the song escalates as it goes to sort of match each one. And now this is where the panic sets in. I love that as the big bad comes up out of the lake of blood or fire or whatever it is, and we get each of them this sort of momentary look of panic, and then they sort of stand forth as individuals, and then they start to intertwine to create the thing which is going to fight on their behalf or as them, right? And what form does it take? Yeah, so what we turn into is a sort of Ganesh figure, the elephant-headed god in samurai armor, which is a perfect blending of these two cultures, which is what, of course, the song is doing musically and culturally, which is, I think, really, really cool. I think one of the reasons these collaborations that they've been doing recently work is because of that juxtaposition. Partly it's the cultural blending, but it's also the juxtaposition of these really sort of dark, heavy sounds and that sort of more guttural, bassy male voice with what Su metal particularly can supply in terms of that sort of clean power and more trebly kind of voice, which I think is a beautiful counterpoint. And a different kind of power, right? It gives the whole thing a sense of scale. And that's the ultimate, right? Where Su metal, as a Japanese performer, sings in Hindi. You know, that's not something that used to happen. And this is cool, right? Yeah, man, it's great stuff. I think, lyrically, the song is almost curiously unspecific, unless there are things in here that I'm missing because I'm not getting more than what the translation here is suggesting from the Hindi. But it's a classic baby metal standing up against hardship and being courageous and pushing through. It is so Japanese. This is another Gambarimasho kind of song, right? Let's struggle together for something that we think is good. Well, we need more of that because the world sucks. Yeah, it's great stuff. I'm not going to say anything else. I think, there's been some talk amongst the baby metal fan base about whether they're just going to do collaborations or whether we're going to get new baby metal material. But, so long as the collaborations are this good, I think we don't need to worry so much about that. I do think it's really interesting that a lot of these collaborations seem to be taking the spirit of the Metal Galaxy album further in its culturally collaborative and musically collaborative. I didn't really mention it, but obviously we're getting a lot of Indian sounds in there, both traditional and contemporary. And so I think that sort of active working together is really cool and is an emblem for forward motion in the global 21st century. I love it. It's awesome. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. As ever, please like, comment, subscribe, check out my Patreon page, and thank you to all my patrons who make this channel possible. Thank you to everybody for watching and for commenting. I try to maintain a real conversation within the comment section of these videos. Check out my books if you haven't already done so, particularly if you like this kind of stuff. Hideki Smith, Demon Queller. Check out my merchandise, and that's it. I will talk to you all soon. Thanks. Bye.